Paul, 2.5 weeks in, where is the group in terms of where you would want the group to be?
I'm really pleased, to be honest with you. Really pleased with where they are. It's about the fitness levels at the moment, and they've had 2.5 really tough weeks where it's more about getting the distances in the legs. We're now building up with more high speed running, which they've done more of that again today. We're expecting more high speed running in the game against Workington. And really it's about the players pushing themselves like they did against Penrith and against Kendal, because it would be easy to just go into a nice relaxed and calm mode and not run and not work, but I think the players have applied themselves really well in training and certainly in the games, and now we've just got to keep that going.
How much of the science is in there, Paul? Because we're seeing them, sometimes you've even said if they don't do the game running, they'll do a bit afterwards. How much of that is stats based?
A lot of it is, yeah. I mean, we all, myself, Jamie, Gav, we have an idea of what we want out of training. So I have to say that the elements of the football that we want to get in comes first. And I won't have Jamie, the sports scientist, coming to me saying they've done too much, can you stop? That won't happen. If I think they need the football, they will get the football, and if it means they've done more running, then that's life. It's like today, you know, we had a group of players, well, in fact everybody except for John Mellish, who had done enough of the high speed running that we wanted. John Mellish had done enough, sorry, the others hadn't, so they had to top it up to make sure they're getting it in the legs, because we have an idea of what we believe is the right distances to get in the legs to take into the game. Now, I'm not saying that science is always right, there's a bit of experience and the knowledge that goes with that, but also the science behind it, and we put it all together and hopefully we'll come up with the right plan.
Something we've not seen before is the training on a match day as well, and sometimes it's quite intense in stages.
Yeah, it is, because it's pre-season. We want them to be stretched. We know they're only playing 45 minutes in a game. Workington will be a little bit different, they'll play longer. But it's about getting those numbers. We have set numbers that we want them to achieve over the week, and if we don't do it on the morning of a game, we're missing out on a session. So it's about getting that resilience, that sort of mental strength to get up and go, and then to stop and rest, but then you have to get up and go again, because that's what will happen in the season. We'll play Saturday, we'll play Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll then play the following Saturday, and their body has to be able to withstand it. We're not in a position where we're going to have a situation of squad rotation. We're not going to be that fortunate, and I don't think players really want that either. I think they want to play games, so these lads, they've got to be ready for it. They've got to be able to sustain it over 46 league games and hopefully quite a few cup games. And if they can do that, then we'll have half a chance of keeping them fit.
Because things are so compact at Kendal, we got to see and hear you properly for the first time in the dugout. We just scored a goal, I think it was the first goal, and you're up rollicking somebody for something that happened during the build-up. What's that say about the standards you're setting at the moment?
I don't really know what you're talking about, if I'm going to be honest with you, because I just do things that I see in the game. Listen, it's nice to score goals. It's nice to keep clean sheets. I get all of that sort of stuff, and it's really good for individuals to get goals. But I'm not really bothered about the result. I like it that we win. I want to get that habit of winning games. I want to see what we're doing. I want to see how we're defending. So I talk about security behind the ball. So when we're attacking, we need to be safe, because last season there was far too many transitions for my liking, and it was backs against the wall and goalkeepers having to make last ditch saves. I don't want that. I want to try and get a shape about us that we've got security behind the ball even when we're attacking, and if it means attacking with 5 or 6 and defending with 4, that's what we're going to do, because it's not the League Two and the League Cup and the Papa John's. It ain't FIFA 22 on your computer where everybody just goes gung-ho. We've got to have a bit of security behind the ball, and as much as I want to be attacking, I don't want to be on transition and scrambling around making last ditch defending and goalkeepers making saves, or I want to avoid it as much as we can. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the goal and seeing with one eye players getting through balls and Sonny finishing, or Deno heading it in, or Toby tapping it in, but I've also got my other eye looking at what's going on behind the ball and seeing whether we're safe, and that will carry on hopefully right throughout the season.
It is pre-season and we've got the opposition who aren't full-time professionals, but it still must do something for confidence to be keeping clean sheets and scoring goals.
Definitely, yeah, it's what you want to do. You know, you've got to get into the habit, and Just like as a football club we got into the habit of losing games last season, it's very easy to get into the habit of winning games as well, and everybody likes to be into that habit. So we're just getting used to it, and I like the structure that we had the other night, particularly in the first half of the game. I thought we had a real good shape about us. I thought we passed the ball well. Early on in the game we went a little bit too long too early and made it difficult for ourselves, and then the ball's getting turned over. But when we keep the ball and we've got a good discipline about our shape in midfield and with wing backs, I thought we've looked a strong side. Now hopefully over the next few weeks with the Workington game, hopefully a step up with the training game on Tuesday with Bolton and the game up in Largs and then the game against Morecambe. They're all different steps up in ability levels that will test us even more. And that's when the shape and the discipline of the team will come to the front.
Can you see and feel the lads progressing as a group, as a unit, coming together, and in terms of fitness and sharpness?
Yeah, I can. I certainly see them coming together as a group, because I don't think if they were as together as they are that we'd have the level of performance that we've had in the two games, and also the demands that they're making on each other in training. We need more of it. In our training session today, at one point I had to say to the team that we're getting the run around that it's where we need leaders to step up and to try and grab hold of it and get control back. And it's a real big thing in football, momentum. You talk about, when things are going well, you have momentum and people go, well, what is it? And there's no answer. I don't know what the answer is. But then you have momentum goes against you, and it's really hard to stop that as well. And I've talked about it before, that we had a full 2 days when I was at the FA trying to work out what's the best way to keep momentum and what's the best way to regain it when it's going against you, and we couldn't come up with an answer. So it's not easy, but if you've got leaders in your group, then they can deal with the situation and they can talk and organise and try and just nip it in the bud as quickly as possible.
The 5 new boys, you could talk about them for ages individually, with the calm approach, the range of passing, the presence. Even Thomas, the biggest, friendliest giant we'll ever meet. What have they brought, those 5? Are you pleased with where they're at?
Yeah, really pleased. I think what they have done is brought a freshness to the group. They've brought a competitive edge to the group, and I think they've shown they've got some ability as well. Been really pleased. It was a tough week for Ben to step in last week. I'm sure it was a bit of a surprise for him to find out that he was surplus at Stockport, but he stepped into it. Been really pleased with his communication. He looks a really good, comfortable footballer. But all in, I'm really pleased with the lot of them. They've all settled in. I'm hoping that there's still going to be more. I've been disappointed this week with a couple of situations that have fallen flat on the backside. We were in a position on Tuesday where we thought it wasn't happening with one player, and then I had a conversation with him and it definitely was happening, and then it was going to be medicaled on Wednesday, and then he decided it wasn't happening, and things like that just do my head in, and you get a plan in your mind, and this is something we've been going at for a full week. It wasn't something that just was happened on a whim. We've been working on it for a week, and then to think that we've got a medical booked on Wednesday and then it doesn't happen is really disappointing. But we have to move on. I've said it before, I can't complain and worry about the ones who we don't get. I've just got to try and focus on the ones who we do get, and it's proving really difficult at the moment to get an experienced centre-back that I want. What I will say, I ain't going to stop yet. We've got other irons in the fire, other things that we're considering, and hopefully something will happen over the next week or 10 days.
Do you want to say what other positions you're particularly looking at the moment as well, Paul?
Well, to be honest, I'm looking right through the group at the moment. I mean, I have priorities because of the money that's left available. My priority is to try and get another defender into the club. We're a little bit short in the right wing back slot. Centre back slot, I would like another one for security. When we get when we get an idea of what's left financially, we may have to bring another midfield player in. The fact that Tristan's left might open the door for us to bring a striker in. And I always say this isn't me complaining about budgets, but it all depends on what money's left. It's as simple as that. We have to work within the restraints of the budget. I knew that when I took the job, so we'll get on with it. We'll spend it as wisely as we can, and hopefully assemble a group that can start the season properly on July the 30th.
You setting yourself a time frame on any of that, and is there any more looking to get out, just going the other way?
No, I don't want anybody to go. As it stands at the moment, we need them all with us. We've got a couple of injuries at the moment, which are a little bit of a pain for us. just to properly nip this ridiculous rumour that came out on, I think it was Wednesday, wasn't it, that Amari was going to Tranmere, I think. I have no idea where that's come from. So unless the particular person who started the rumour has a crystal ball and can see something that we all can't, that's totally untrue. Amari pulled out of training on Monday with soreness in his groin. He was scanned on Tuesday, which showed that he had some bruising to the pubic bone and a little bit of a strain to his adductor muscle. We think it's probably going to be a couple of weeks, so hopefully he'll be fit for the start of the season, depending how that settles down. He's already feeling better after a couple of days, so that's nothing to do with him leaving the club. We've got Fish has got a bit of swelling on his knee, which has kept him out of training probably for about a week or 10 days. We're hoping that he will return to training next week. Both of those are merely just the hard grounds, the pounding. That's what's caused that. And then we've had a bit of a setback with Taylor Charters as well. He's got a hamstring strain again, on the same hamstring but a different area. And we probably need to have a look at how we've handled that. Well, I don't think as a group of staff we've done particularly well for Taylor there. So he's probably going to be out for, I think, possibly 6 weeks from the date of the injury, which I think might be about 4.5, 5 weeks from now. He's doing okay. He's doing the work, and we've got to build him up. And we've sort of took our eye off the ball a little bit with Taylor, in that he's come from part-time with not training all the time and playing games with Gateshead, picking up the hamstring injury, doing his rehab over the summer, getting to a point where he thought it was right. And with hindsight, which is always easy, we probably should have took him out of some of the sessions and not pushed him like we did. But he was so enthusiastic and so up for it that it's just one of those things. But as I say, we hopefully will get him right in maybe 4.5, 5 weeks. So we've got those which we're missing out on at the moment. So it's making a situation where we've got young lads in Ryan Carr, Kai Nugent, Nick Bellardo, who are involved, all really doing well, which is great experience for them. Whether or not League Two is going to be a bit too much for them at this point remains to be seen, but ideally I'd like a couple more in to strengthen the squad rather than anybody going out.
That's probably my naivety. I asked Gav the other night, you see these young boys playing, it's like, are these knocking on the door? There's more to it than that, isn't there?
Oh yeah, of course there is. This is great experience for them. Not only the games, but they're training every day with us as well. Now, unfortunately, the knock-on of that is that the youth team go into games with a real depleted group. And, for example, the game at Queen's the other night where they got absolutely smashed off a much older side than they were. We had 50 under-16s playing. They had 19s, and I'm led to believe a 20 or 21-year-old playing. And the physical difference and the development in that 15 to 18, 19 is absolutely enormous. So the youth team are suffering on the back of that, but it's really good experience for the lads being involved with us. Great for them to be involved in games. They certainly haven't let us down in the games. And who knows, maybe come July the 30th, they might be in and around it, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Workington, we could play Tiddlywinks at midnight on a Thursday, it'd still be competitive. There's always an edge to this one.
There will be, yeah. There's always an edge. I'm looking forward to it because they're a good side. They're a good side at their level, so it's a step up in the opposition that we've had so far. But it's the next test for us. We'll pick a side that will start and hopefully get 60 minutes. So it's a little bit of a stretch. So you've got to get yourself going again after half time, unlike the last two. And then we'll reverse it for the game on Tuesday. So everybody will start to build up their fitness, and then maybe come Saturday and the games after, we're looking at getting them closer to 90 minutes. We know it's going to be a difficult game for us, but it's the next one for us, and it's the next extension of training for us.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.